Good morning, Aldersley staff and students. It's Miss Dunn here on Friday the 15th of May. Welcome to my assembly today, where we'll be talking about a healthy body, a healthy mind. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to see who completed the challenges yesterday that was set by Miss Bird in her assembly about reading. So the three challenges were all based around reading, with the first one giving you the challenge to try and read for at least 20 minutes. And I'm sure lots of you achieved that, as I've seen lots of people tweeting on Twitter, especially with the reading challenge that had been set by Miss Sine. So hopefully lots of you got that challenge ticked off straight away. And also Miss Bird set the challenge of writing a short book review and then posting it on Twitter. So hopefully lots of you are still getting that done, and I'll look forward to seeing those shortly. And then the final one was trying to read to someone within your household, whether that's a sibling or a parent and carers. And I know at times that some of you find that hard reading out loud, but hopefully that's something you've had a go at to improve that confidence when reading out loud. So today is the 15th of May, and the challenge from the Meaningful May today is to find out about the values and traditions of another culture. So when you have 5 minutes, or once you log off from the virtual school today, please try and have a go at that. Look online, see what interesting facts you can find out and traditions about other cultures, and please feel free to tweet that or post it in your year group team if you're not on Twitter. So my assembly today, I want to talk to you about having a healthy mind and a healthy body. And the 5 things there on that picture are the 5 things for me that we really need to think about to ensure that we are healthy. So the first one there is think positive. Second one, be sociable. Third, eat healthily. Fourth, keep your mind active and learn new things. And then fifth, exercise there at the bottom. So the first one I want us to think about and focus is think positive and then be sociable. Those first 2 things that ensure we have a healthy mind. What or who makes you happy? And I want you to sit down today and reflect and have some time of thinking about what makes you happy, what things do you enjoy doing, and when do you feel happy? And then who are those people who make you feel happy when you're surrounded with them? I want you to sit down and I want you to think about something positive that's happened in your life recently, and I want you to think about how that made you feel. And from my own personal experience, this is always a good way to start your day. Maybe if you've woke up a little bit late, or you've had a lie-in, you've woke up and you're feeling a little bit down, start to think of some positive things, and straight away it will change your mindset. I want you to think about your social health and who and what you surround yourself with. This is really, really important for me. As a PE teacher, we always talk about the social element of your health and how that makes you feel and its benefits to being healthy. And I want you to really think about that today as well. So at the moment, it's hard to stay in contact with your friends and family because you can't physically see them. However, there is nothing stopping you staying in contact with them over the telephone or on social media and talking to those people to make you feel happy. Second thing that I want to talk to you about is eating healthily. Now, I know at times this can be hard, including myself. We all like to have a treat now and again. But today, I want you to sit down. I want you to think about, have you got a balanced diet? And what does it look like? So the image there is a plate of different food from different food groups. And the food groups that you need to be aware of are your carbohydrates, your proteins and your fats. That's what we call macronutrients. So they're the big things in your diet that you need. So you need lots of them. And then you've got your micronutrients, which are things like fibre, minerals and vitamins. So though there's the smaller things, we need them, they're essential, but we need less of them in your diet. So I want you to think about, what does your diet look like at the moment? And people don't need to think about diet just for losing weight, because straight away when we mention the word diet, we think about losing weight, but that's not what it's about. It's about having that balance and ensuring that we have the right fuel for our body to ensure we can be healthy. Energy balance, that's the calories that you consume and the calories that you use. So sometimes you'll see the food plates and it'll say you need 30% of one thing, 30% of another, and so on. But for me, that's inaccurate, because for everyone, you've all got your own diet, and the percentage of food you need will slightly differ for each individual. And that depends on what you do in your day. So if you are going out on a walk in the morning, you are going to be burning calories. So you're going to need some food to ensure you can do that. If you think of food as your fuel, it keeps your body running, just like petrol runs a car, then that is what you need to think about. So you need to make sure you have some fuel before you go on that daily walk. If you then decide to do some physical activity in the afternoon, again, you're going to need some fuel before. Food like carbohydrates provide lots of energy and they're our main food source for energy. So please think about making sure you eat those carbohydrates. The timing of your food is key. So I just spoke to you about carbohydrates. If you eat those just before you're going to bed, that maybe not be the best choice because those carbohydrates are then going to store as fat, and that is when we see that weight gain. So think about those timing of foods and when it's important. Things like proteins helps our muscles and our body repair. So proteins are always good to eat after exercise. So maybe you could introduce some proteins in your diet. Make small life changes, and that's a tip from me really. There's no point in trying to change your whole diet straight away as following my assembly. However, think about those small changes in life you can make to make sure you have a healthy diet. So, for example, some of us might like to drink fizzy pop. If you drink Coca-Cola, there is lots of sugar in that drink. So if you make that small life change and change to Coke Zero, where there is no sugar in, that will be a change to your diet straight away. And even better, why not think about dropping that fizzy pop and drinking water as that main fuel throughout the day? So, next point is keeping your mind busy and learning new things. So, this has been fantastic to see while we've been in lockdown at the moment because it's been great to see so many of you, particularly on Twitter, tweeting about all the things that you're doing to keep yourself busy and also learning new things. First one there, I've got Miss Core who's been learning to draw at home, and that's something that I'm not very good at, so I should be practicing. But well done to you, Miss Core, for trying to learn a new skill there. We've also got lots of you taking part in Miss Senior's reading challenge. That's really good to see. Lots of you are doing something to keep your mind busy. Katie, well done in Year 8, who's been learning to cook and improving her cooking skills while she's been at home. Also, another student there in Year 10, Molly, who's been also doing the same, so been doing some baking at home to keep herself busy. And then this was one of my favourite tweets that I saw, Miss Jeffries, who's had a go at doing the dance challenge on TikTok along with the dance department. So well done to you, Miss Jeffries, learning a new skill there and keeping yourself busy. Miss Foster, who's been having a go at some crafts while she's been at home to keep herself busy. Fantastic tweet here from Mrs. Evans, who is at home learning to do slacklining and doing really, really well. I can see a balance on there and something I'd like to have a go at. So well done to you, miss. And then Joanne in Year 8, well done to you, going out on a bike ride. So keeping yourself active as well as being busy at home. And then another baking one then. It's been fantastic to see so many of you taking on the challenge of learning how to bake or to keep yourself busy because it's always enjoyable when we are cooking nice food. So that was another tweet there from Miss Berry. And then one of my favourite tweets since we've been off from Year 8 student Phoebe, who has been having a go at doing sign language and doing really, really well in that video clip there. So today, have a little think about what skills you can learn, new things, and challenge yourself to make sure you are learning new things, and that will keep you busy whilst you are stuck at home. So exercise, one of my favourite things to talk about being a PE teacher. So first of all, I want you to ask yourself the question, how often do you exercise at the moment? Depending on what the answer is, depends on what realistic challenges you can set yourself. So Youth Sport Trust have stated that all people should be taking part in at least 60 minutes per day across the week. And there's lots of examples there on the poster on the right of ways you can take part in physical activity. Some of those things have been restricted at the moment because of lockdown. However, there's lots of ways that you can still keep yourself physically active whilst being at home. And why are we encouraging you to take part in exercise? Because it has lots and lots of benefits. And some of those are stated above on the poster. So it builds your confidence and your social skills. It helps develop coordination. It improves your concentration and learning. So I know I spoke to you about this before, but it's really important to have that mental break to go and do some physical activity to help you in your studies when you're back at school and whilst in the virtual school at the moment. It strengthens those muscles and bones, so as you get older, your bones can become brittle and your muscles can become weaker, and it's important that through physical activity you maintain that strength. It improves your health and fitness, so it improves your heart, your cardiovascular system and your respiratory system. It helps you maintain a healthy weight. It helps you improve sleep. So some of you may find it hard to switch off at times when you go to bed. Instead of sitting on your phone and social media, maybe you could have spent some time exercising the day to help you go to bed, relax and sleep. And it also makes you feel good about yourself. So this week and today, I want you to reflect on how much physical activity you're doing at the moment and look at all those benefits about why it's important we take part in physical activity. And I want you to set some realistic challenges. This here is just a diagram that I found from the Youth Sport Trust that I thought was really, really important about the benefits of sport and physical activity. And you can see physical education there in the middle. And all of you, when you are back at school, you have your PE lessons and they happen once a week for you. And also, at the moment, you're still having those PE lessons, but obviously you're doing it through the virtual school. And I want you to ensure that you make sure that you take part in these lessons as best as you can, because there is so many benefits that physical education can offer you. And there's a whole list there, which I'm not going to read through all of them, but some key ones that stand out for me there are the resilience. And I know Miss Huntington spoke to you all earlier in the week about the importance of resilience, and that's something that you can develop through physical education. It also gives you that opportunity for confidence to build and that teamwork. And that is really, really key, especially as you grow up and go into the big wide world to go and get yourself jobs. Those things will be really, really important. It increases life chances, so it improves your achievement in school. So lots of students who are physically active also achieve as well and get the best results possible. It improves all three elements there of your well-being, your physical, social and emotional. So that's really important. And hopefully at the end we'll have happier, healthy young people achieving their full potential. So spend a little bit of time looking through that diagram, because I think it's really, really important to the benefits of physical activity and your PE lessons that you take part in weekly. So, just some top tips from the PE department, because obviously we are all really enthusiastic and keen to make sure you have a healthy body and a healthy mind. So, first of all, I'll start with my tips. So, first of all, I've mentioned it already today, but make sure you're being realistic. Don't look online and compare yourself to other people or what everyone else is doing. That might give you some inspiration to get motivated and started, but don't think you have to do what everyone else is doing. Think about yourself and set those realistic challenges. I've put on there PE is so much more than just exercising or playing a game. That is something that at times people do think. However, that diagram there, which I found on Twitter, shows lots and lots of reasons of why PE is really, really important, and that physical activity boosts and reduces so many things. So spend a bit of time and look through that poster there, because I absolutely love that poster about why PE is important. Follow a diet that you can maintain. So I did mention it earlier when I was talking about your diet. Don't try and reduce everything and change everything straight away. Small steps are much more successful. Set those SMART targets, so those specific targets that you can measure. They're achievable, realistic, and then they've got a time at the end so you know when they end, and that will hopefully keep you motivated. Be inspired by others, so have a look what other people are doing and see if that can motivate you to get started with some physical activity. And also believe in yourself. So sometimes we'll have a bad day and we won't be feeling very, very positive. However, we need to try and change that mindset and try and be positive and believe in yourself. Be confident and try new things. From my own experience, that is something that's really good. It challenges you and keeps your mind active. And then the final one there is listen to your body. So if you are feeling tired and you do need to rest, then make sure that's what you do. So listen to what your body is telling you to do. Next up are some top tips from Miss Foster. So we've got two there. She's encouraging you all to get moving, and that's because movement has a real impact on your body through exercise. And Miss has just put on there some of the things that exercise helps reduce. So your obesity, your diabetes and your high blood pressure. So can you try and keep your body moving for at least 30 minutes a day is what Miss Foster is telling you to do. She's also mentioned on there, can you help your house reach their destination? So it's been great to see lots of you getting involved with that physical activity to try and reach their destination that you've been challenged to do so. So try and get involved with that if you can. And then a key one there for Miss Foster is taking that time for yourself. And at the moment, that's really, really important. A little bit of self-care and thinking about how you can reduce that stress and anxiety. And then Miss Foster, whilst being off at the moment, has been getting involved in lots of reading and doing some crafts, as you can see from the picture there on the right. Next top tips are from Miss Elaine. So some of these we may have already spoken about, but lots of key tips there from Miss Elaine, talking about that regular exercise, maybe first thing in the morning to set your day off as to a positive start. Very similar to myself, he's talked about those small goals to achieve to keep you motivated. Miss Elaine is really thinks it's important that you drink that water regular and replace those sugary drinks, which I mentioned earlier when we're talking about diet. Think about drinking water first thing in the morning. It helps you cleanse your system and get off to a positive start. Think about cutting sugar out of your diet. So lots and lots of food have hidden sugars that we don't know about. So think about that when you are looking at your balanced diet plate. Make sure you get to bed at a reasonable time, and then also make sure you're getting up at a reasonable time and not staying in bed all day and wasting the day ahead. And then the final one there, think about your body as a machine, so you refuel it with the best food, not junk food. Next one up is Mrs. Hardwick. So she believes that being healthy is taking care of your physical, mental and social well-being, and talking about how we can be active and those small changes you can make in life. So thinking about taking the stairs instead of using the lift. So stop being lazy and think about that physical activity you can do. Also think about walking the long way round where possible. Again, those small little changes will make a big difference to you and your healthy body and healthy mind. And then for Mrs. Hardwick, she thinks it's really important to improve that social health by seeing her friends and family and making sure she offers them a smile to cheer them up. She also likes to listen to music to keep her relaxed, and she plays volleyball on a regular basis, which helps her keep physically active. Okay, and then the last two from the PE department from Mr. Hickman and Mr. Grimshaw. So Mr. Hickman, exactly what all the other PE teachers have been saying, making sure that you have some physical activity every day. And he's mentioned there that it's really key that you spend that time to step away from your phone and your laptop screens. That's really important. Make sure you're setting those goals, as we've already said, and think about goals that are going to really challenge you, but not too ambitious so that you don't give up. And then Mr. Grimshaw, last but not least, believes more that a healthy breakfast is the key to that healthy mind to kickstart the body in the morning. And I would agree with that. When we are back at school, make sure you are trying to come in nice and early to have that breakfast so you have the fuel to make sure your mind is focused in those lessons. And whilst you're at home, please do the same and try and be a bit adventurous and change that breakfast each morning. Don't just stick to the same breakfast because you will get bored, but it's really important that you have that meal in the morning. And then Mr. Grimshaw is there, put that focus on that diet and talking about how that's really key, not just about that exercise. So think about both things to ensure you have a healthy body and a healthy mind. So today's challenges, will you achieve them? Hopefully so. So the 3 challenges that I'm setting you today, the first one is to look at that diet plate. What does it look like now? And are there any small changes you could make to ensure that your diet is more balanced? The second one, I want you to do some physical activity. Now, I set this challenge all the time, in particular to my year 7s and 8s, and I want you to all get on board and make sure you do some physical activity today. What are you going to do for your 60 minutes today? And then what are you going to do for your 260 minutes across the weekend? And then the third one there is I want you to think positive. Do something you enjoy today and try and change that mindset. And then if you are on Twitter, please use the hashtag there, Healthy Body, Healthy Mind, AHS, and let's try and get that that hashtag trending across Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, I'd recommend that you do get on there because there's lots of fantastic things going on at Aldersley at the moment, and it's good to have a look through. So before I leave you today, as always, there's just the email addresses of the key members of staff you can contact to make sure you are safe. If you have any concerns from 8 till 4, please contact those members of staff. And then after 4 o'clock, the message will be posted on the Teams for those agencies that you can contact if you are feeling unsafe at home. So have a lovely day. It's Friday, so the end of the week's nearly the weekend. So have a fantastic day and stay safe at home, and hopefully I'll see you all soon.